Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Welcome to Patriots Touchback Podcast.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome on to another edition here of the Patriots Touchback Podcast. It's me, your host, Carl. DJ, Nick, and Luke are back with us. We are back after a long trip. We've been to Frankfurt to see Pats take on the Colts, and let's just say it wasn't the most prettiest of matches, let's put it this way. But for now, let's get the panel on, have their thoughts. DJ, good to see you, sir. Hope you've been well. How are you?
Yeah, finally got back last night. Relaxed after the trip. Yeah, it was a really good weekend. Really, apart from the actual result, but the whole build up, the days that we all spent together and finally met in person, it's unbelievable. It's just that obviously the result didn't go our way, but you know, you win some, you lose some. We're losing more than we're winning. But yeah.
Nick, good to have you on, mate. Have you enjoyed your trip and have you recovered from it yet?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was, if you take the result out of it, like DJ said, it's a great time. I'm glad we all got together. Thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah, I kind of went expecting us to lose anyway. I didn't expect us to win. So the defeat wasn't like a weekend killer because I'd kind of accepted that was going to happen. So, yeah, the only annoyance for me was traveling back because I suffered a couple of delays and whatever else. But hey, it is what it is. I had a great time. It was great to hang out with you all.
Luke, hopefully you got back safely. How have you enjoyed your weekend with us lot?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I thought I had a great time. The game, I'd like Nick. I expected us to lose, by kind of around what it was. It would have been nice to see a few more scores, and a few more plays, even if it was from the Colts, you know, or the Patriots, just to see a bit of good football. Like I said, I expected us to lose anyway, so it would have been nice to kind of see, you know, something exciting, I suppose, happen. But realistically, there was probably only a couple of 10-yard plus plays in the whole game, only a handful from either side. But the game was nearly the sideshow because we had a great old time. So, yeah, happy to be home, but had a great time as well at the same time.
Yeah, as a host of this show, I'd like to say thank you to Nick for all the effort and all the work that he put in for getting all of us over to Frankfurt. Probably one of the best long weekends I've had in God knows how long. Just overall a fantastic weekend with a great bunch of lads, and obviously Luke, you brought your Irish entourage over with you, even though most of them are Colts fans. But
one of them was.
I thought two of them were. Okay,
no,
anyway.
just one.
Just one of them. So it was just a fantastic weekend, to say the least. Great people. The beers flowed very, very nicely. Hotel was very nice. However, though, the game in question, the start of it was great. The build-up was great. The singing from the crowd was great. But the on-board product on the field, I don't know. But before we get into the dissecting of this war crime, or whatever the hell it was that we watched, please make sure you smash a like on the video. You're hitting the subscribe button while you're at it. Follow us on all our social media platforms and follow us on Spotify. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of What the Happened in this game. So, who wants to start this one? Patriots 6, Colts 10. I was one who predicted the very lowest scoreline, but I said 14-17. At least we get a touchdown from our team. We couldn't move we couldn't move leaves in the wind. It was shocking.
I think the first drive wasn't bad. the first drive did seem a little productive, where we had a running game going on. It ended up, yes, short by not getting a touchdown in the red zone, but or I haven't.
I'll just step in there because I think DJ's connection is kind of going.
Your sound's gone a bit funny there, DJ.
Yeah,
Go on,
like I was. I think just to echo DJ's point, I thought that we started off promising. The problem was then is that it kind of went downhill after they kind of had that, like most teams will script most offenses will script the first drive. Looked like they were well prepared, well oiled. Yeah, we only got the field goal in the end, but it there was a bit of promise there, and then it really didn't look anything like that then for the rest of the game. Mac was missing wide open receivers. He was getting sacked a lot, but I know there was definitely some issues with the O-line. I'm not going to put that all on him, but there was a lot of him standing in the pocket, holding onto the ball, and just taking the sack rather than even. I don't want to say not trying to escape the pocket, but he was not getting outside the pocket to make throws. He was staying in the pocket and trying to step up, and he wasn't learning from the fact that at right guard, City So was having a poor game, and he was stepping up into pressure. When the pressure was coming around the edge on the right side, he was then stepping up into DeForest Buckner, or he was stepping up into or he was avoiding the pressure up the middle, and he was stepping to the right, which is his throwing side, and he was stepping into, and I'm going to make a mess of his name, so I won't, but I know he had 3 sacks in the game for the Colts, and he was a backup as well. He's not their starting defensive end, which again, not gonna blame Mac too heavily on that, but I suppose my point is it was 75% O-line when it came to the pressures and the sacks, but there was a 25% there that was Mac related, in my point of view anyway. Running game looks good. Happy with Stevenson and Elliott's production. They ran hard. Defense was good. They couldn't have done a whole lot more, really. The only thing is that they seem to not be able to finish on their pressures. They were able to get pressure, and then they couldn't finish off with a sack. It looked they really, and Minshew, whilst being a mobile quarterback, he's not a mobile quarterback, if you know what I mean. He's a pocket passer that can move and can improvise. He's not the type of guy. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Jalen Hurts. He's not the type of guy that you should have trouble getting to and bringing down and sacking. But the defense struggled, and Judon has been out since week 4, and he's still our sack leader with 4 sacks. And I don't know if there's anybody even on 3. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. It's not like he's tied with anybody either, so we're getting pressure. We're just not finishing. I think Barmore played well. And I also think very small shout out to Calvin Munson, who, despite the fact that we obviously John Bentley was missing with the hamstring injury. And I think Mac Wilson was missing for a decent portion of the game because he was, I think he went to the tent. He did come back, I think, in the game later on, but the run defense looked solid. So fair play to him. Special shout out getting a late call up from the practice squad. But yeah, I feel like nothing different to any other game we've seen this year. So I'm not surprised, but my baseline for the team is extremely low. So maybe you were more surprised. I don't think so. But at the same time, the general feeling I got from the Patriots fans in the stadium were that everybody was kind of there was nobody there expecting us to be competitive, really, and the defense kept it competitive. So, but also the Colts got in their own way a lot too. So, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, I was getting annoyed at the fact we were giving up a lot of third downs to the Colts. Nick was screaming in my ear that the fact that the pass rush was getting literally next to their pressure on Gardner Minshew at all in any portion of that game whatsoever. But people just look at the box score and go, oh, the Patriots defense held Indianapolis to 10 points. How the hell did they not win this game? And you've just ironed it out completely, where the offensive line was once again troublesome. Mac Jones was making erratic decisions again, skittish in the pocket. When he did step up, it was the wrong time to do it. The Colts had 6 sacks, 3 of them, Mac Jones 8, which kind of tells you all you need to know of how bad the line was, and B, Mac Jones' decision making was just absolutely terrible. We're going to get into the interception and his other passes that he missed during the game as well, because I've gone through some highlights a lot more today, and I'm even more infuriated by watching it than when I wasn't during game time.
Was it worse, Carl, do you think, in second viewing, his performance, or would you more kind of go, it was the weapons, it was the line, or was it really just?
It's a collection of everything.
Okay.
It is a collection of
performance this week.
It was a collection of everything. It goes from the receivers to the line to the quarterback to the offense to Bill O'Brien to Belichick. It goes through everything because the offense did literally next to nothing. Nick, what's your take on this?
Not great. Luke said about we rushed well. I was listening to Luke and fully agreed with him, but he actually made one of my points that I was going to do. The Patriots rushed for 167 yards. That is our highest rushing total this season. And just one stat for you: the Patriots became the first team in 267 consecutive games to rush for over 150 yards, hold the opposition to 10 points or less, and lose. 266 teams prior to us managed to win a game like that, but we were the first to lose it in 267 attempts. So well done, Patriots. You did something for the first time there.
It's a historical Patriots.
There was the moment again. Luke made a lot of the points that I've got wrote down, so I'm not going to go into. No, it's all right. It's fine. That's part and parcel of it. What you said about Mac being sacked. He was sacked 5 times in the first half alone, and I get that Mac has his issues. I'm not going to sit here and defend him, but not everything that's going wrong at the Patriots is his doing. You can pick Belichick out for not giving him weapons. You can pick, whoever you want out for. You can pick out the line coaches for not having the line coached and ready. But every time that the guy turned to go somewhere, he was sacked because the O-line in front of him can't protect him. We've had this discussion, I don't know how many times. It's getting boring because nobody with any control in the Patriots seems to actually want to do anything. I was screaming in everyone's ear, Carl. It wasn't just you. But how much time did they want to give Gardner Minshew? He could pick out a pass, go to the sideline, make himself a cup of coffee, go back on, chuck the ball, and then walk off and have his coffee before coming back on again. He had so much time in the world to do whatever he wanted. And it's like, do we have a defense rush? Have we got any edge rushes today? Because, I didn't see any. I just saw a few guys going sideways, going, ooh. So, what everything else I was going to say, Luke said. So, I'll second everything.
I mean, you were all pinpointing the defensive side of the ball here when, to be fair, no pressure. I was getting very, very annoyed, especially when I was on 3rd and long. I think it was like 3rd and 12. I think it was. There was a one at one point, and we just decided to, and we just decided to drop it completely. It was frustrating to watch, incredibly frustrating to watch. But let's move into the elephant in the room, shall we? We finally got to witness Mac Jones play, and probably his worst performance ever in a Patriots uniform. And I know a lot of people are going to turn and say, but the receivers can't get separation. Thank you. That's a day ending in Y when it comes to this organisation. Let's try not to keep on banging the drum of this. There were plays during that game. When you're watching this on TV, you only see the play that happens when you get the replay when you see it. And it's like, could he get open? Not 100% sure. But when you're sat in a stadium actually watching the game in real time for real, you can see where your receivers are running their routes. Some were getting open and some were not getting open. Mac Jones kept going to his first read every single time. And when that blew up, he just did not know what to do. He doesn't go to his second, doesn't go to his third. It was absolutely frustrating. I think there was a time, and DJ's just accidentally just dropped out for a second there. He'll be back on in a minute, hopefully. But the frustrating part in all of this, okay, was there was a couple of we're talking about red zone opportunities again. New England are good at getting the offense down the field. As soon as it reaches the red zone, that's it. They're completely and utterly stalled out. I think there was a third and I'm not sure. I think it was a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. I think it was in the 3rd quarter. He's trying to go to the deep routes, either Henry or Gesicki. Yet if he goes for his 3rd read, which is Ramondre Stevenson, he's come off the backfield and he's got. Does everybody remember that play in 2018 when we still had Brady? By the way, it was 3rd down going up against Pittsburgh. And it was 3rd and goal. But we had been pushed back 10 yards due to a holding penalty on the offensive line of the ball. He went to go for a deep shot, but if he'd just gone left and looked at his 3rd read, he would have seen James White in about 20 yards of space and could have easily have made then the 4th and goal a little bit more of an easy conversion. This was the same incident. Mac Jones didn't go to his 3rd read. He didn't see Ramondre Stevenson go left and run off into open field, open grass. He thinks that he
happens quite often.
He dumps that to Ramondre. Ramondre probably takes it inside the Colts 10-yard line.
And it's the same. There's quite a few plays where the running backs stay in to block and then they flare out to the sideline looking for a pass, and they kind of weren't covered. And guy like Stevenson or Elliott, who I think in general has, outside of his not seemingly enjoying fumbling the ball, he's gotten away with a few this year, and he got away with one again against the Colts. But those two can run over guys, and they have. Elliott has, I still think, got the moves to make a guy miss. So like it really should be something that he's looking for, but he's not, like exactly like you're saying, Carl. He's looking for his hot read on the play, and then he kind of. I feel like he's scared now to the point where, because he's been turning the ball over quite a lot, he's scared now to throw one in there, and he doesn't have the zip on his passes anyway to throw one in there, but he's scared to. He needs guys to be wide open, not NFL open. He's waiting for guys to be open like they were for him in Alabama, where there's like 2 yards of separation.
You ain't
And he's
gonna
not
get that.
like that. He doesn't. His receivers here in the Patriots are not even as good as the guys that would have been playing in Alabama. To be fair, a lot of the receivers in a lot of teams in the NFL are the exact same, because the Alabama team that he played with was so good. But I just think that he's afraid to throw one guys open, or even to try and force one in there, because a lot of his passes, if you look at his interception where he throws it very short, I think it wasn't even, he's throwing off his back foot. He's a mistake repeater, I think, and a lot of his interceptions and a lot of his bad throws have come off of him backing up out of the pocket and then just kind of just throwing off his back foot and kind of throwing a duck up in the air.
Gesicki was wide on that play, that particular play. Gesicki was wide open at the back of the end zone.
And it wasn't a case. If you look at the play, he wasn't actually under pressure. There was still.
Passer should beat Vidarian Lowe. Vidarian Lowe got beaten. So there was a bit of pressure coming off that left-hand side, but Max, I reckon,
he still had time to make a throw and set his feet.
At some point, you've got quarterback. I know a quarterback is very not scared of getting hit, but they don't want to be hit.
Oh, of course.
But if this is a game, but if this is for the game, this is for the win, you have to take a hit. You get that ball out, you get it perfect. But if you went out getting taken a hit, guess what? You'll still be You'll still be an absolute hero, because you've gone and got the ball to Gesicki. You have took an absolute smack at the process. And you know what the referee would do. They'll throw their laundry on the field and probably say unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. It'll be a 15-yard kick on the receiving kickoff. But
it was
the lack of.
It was him missing. Sorry, it was him missing Gesicki and then missing Hunter Henry like 2 attempts later, whatever it was. It was that caused Bill O'Brien to absolutely blow up on the sidelines, and of course it blew up and it was going around the stadium. You know, I saw it and I was like, that's showing you guys around me. It's like, look at what's going on because it was put right in front of the NFL Network cameras. They couldn't believe their luck as Bill O'Brien just absolutely blew a gasket at Mac Jones, and he had every right to, because by then he'd missed 2 open receivers. I know they were tight ends, but 2 open receivers that he should have nailed, and it would have been very different. We were in the red zone 4 times during that game. Indy were in the red zone just once. How is that? How does that? You know, and then it says everything. If you're going to bench the guy, just bench him earlier in the game. What does bringing Zach in with a minute 56 and no timeouts left? Whatever it was, 70 yards to cover. What's that going to achieve? You should have taken Mac out the game earlier if that's what you were going to do. But yeah, I mean, it's like we just said, it's not just Mac. The whole thing is broken.
I think
Mac is done. He's shot. He's done.
But another particular reason why they probably bench Mac was because Belichick has now finally got it into his head that, you're not capable of actually leading us down for game-winning drives. He's had 2 in his 4. He's had 2 in his 4 years as a Patriot.
Could have told you that last season, but
Well,
there was a report
that
came out that said that when he threw that pick, he was just all over the place. Like, he didn't want anyone on the sideline next to him. He was almost in tears. Like, you saw him on the sideline, and I think he's completely gave in and lost it. That's where I think Bill was then pulled the cord and said, right, you're done. As an individual, as a quarterback, as confidence level, that is just now, that's it. For me personally, I mean, I know there was rumors around saying that he was injured, or he came out and then said he had a slight bruise. But I don't think that's true.
That's BS. That's BS. They've took him out because they took him out because he's not capable of leading this team down the field and getting the game. Too many open receivers, too many missed opportunities. You ate 3 sacks in the game. You know,
but everyone was calling for Zappi to come on as well, but he does. To me, he's no better.
No, he is no better. But you have to try something. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can't go through the whole process and the whole game and kind of go, look, we know Zappi isn't the answer, but Mac definitely isn't the answer. And if we leave him in the game, we're just going to be knocking our head against the wall, and it's going to be wasted. We might as well just try it, you know, just try it. And I'm glad they tried it. Now, do I think Zappi is the answer? No. Do I think Zappi is good enough to start a quarterback for the rest of the year? No. I'd like to see Will Greer given a shot, but at the same
I think he was warming up at halftime.
Yeah,
that's what as well.
The only thing I'd say about Greer then as well, he wouldn't have been able to come on unless Mac and Zappi were actually injured, because he was designated as the emergency. Yeah. But I think the thing about Greer is that he's the only reason I think Patriots fans are kind of saying it, and me too, is that I haven't seen him play enough. So the feeling is he can't be any worse than the 2 guys that we have. But realistically, neither of Mac or Zappi should be on the roster next year.
According to Tom Curran in his podcast Monday yesterday. According to him and Phil Perry, they were given the impression from sources inside the Patriots that this coming week, while we're on the bye week, it will be Zappi and Greer fighting for the start, and Mac Jones will be number 2. So they got the impression that obviously all 3 of them will get equal amount of reps. So you might, rather than giving your lead man more reps to prepare for the actual game itself, what it will probably be is all 3 guys will get equal amount of reps. They will make the decision based on those reps alone, and then they will probably go into the game with the Giants slightly less undercooked in the QB department, because they haven't had a number 1 prepping that week. But they've got to do something. I think, like you, Luke. I mean, I watched Will Greer in the preseason for the Cowboys when he had already been told that he was moving on and he was looking for a new team, and he played really well in that preseason game, I think it was. But again, the preseason is the preseason. By that point, you're not playing any first team.
You play third and fourth stringers at that point. So
yeah. I just think,
judge, but it's the only thing you can judge him off as well at the same time.
Yeah, something needs to change. You can. There isn't a quarterback on the market that you find comfortable, and I mean, there isn't. So it's like, right, you've only got what you've got. If Mac Jones is broken, which is what I believe he is, I think he's shot. That leaves you with Zappi or Greer. Now, I've seen Zappi. Is he brilliant? No. Is he passable? No, not at the moment when we're this bad. So that means by default, I want to see Greer have a go. And at least if he comes in and he wets the bed, fair enough. You've got Mac on the sidelines to at least sort of try and do something. But I think he's got to start Greer, have Mac as number 2, and go from there. Because I don't know what else we can do.
Nick, when you say, do you mean have if you're having Greer and Zappi kind of really compete for or share the workload as the number one? Are you saying Greer? We'll just say, for example, Greer number one. Then you'd have Zappi number two, and Jones number three.
You would have Greer number. Let's say Greer wins it out. You would have Greer number one. You would have Jones as number two as his backup, with a slightly bit more experience just in case you need to bring him into the game. And Zappi would be your number three. I think the impression that Phil Perry got is that Jones will probably serve as the backup against the Giants, and it's up to Zappi and Greer to win the starting job. That I'm sort of paraphrasing. I'm not.
Exactly. No.
But that's the impression that they were getting.
I'm not there exactly, and I know that's more of a report than analysis. In their view. Do you know what I mean? It's not. To be honest, what I would say is it's not what I would do. I would have Zappi and Greer fight out. They're your 1 and 2, and Mac is your emergency, because I mean, realistically, you've by taking him out of the game, when you need to go and win the game on a game-winning drive, game on the line, last series, you take him out. That is basically saying to the team, to him, to the fans, to everybody, this is not our quarterback anymore.
Yeah, because he's had 3 or 4 chances to do it before, and he's not. He doesn't
had
know how to drive the field.
More,
he doesn't know how to get the win and drive.
More than that. He's 1 and 12 on games where he needs to go. So to me, I personally would kind of go to Mac Jones. You're done, and you're kind of done here. Kind of. I don't want to say you give him the Jimmy G treatment where you kind of go, we don't want you around the facility, we don't want you around the team, because he seems like a popular guy on the team. But I think you kind of wonder, having him taking away reps from Greer and Zappi during the week, what is that going to actually achieve? He can't play. You've told your team that he can't play, and he's preparing him to play is only going to make Greer and Zappi more unprepared to play. And I know, Nick, that's not your opinion. That's just, you're just passing on what Phil Perry and Tom Curran were saying, and that they heard that's what they were getting at. But I suppose, look, I'm also sitting here doing podcasts and I'm not running a team. But look, that's how I would do it. But again, that's on the face of it, with not in intimate knowledge of the situation either.
What's everyone's thoughts regarding Belichick? Because obviously, Pat's now set at 2-8. They're in a bit of a conundrum now. There are reports flying around saying that there could be a mutual part of ways at the end of the season and possibly be traded to a team like Washington or the Chargers, or someone's even posted out saying maybe the Dallas Cowboys possibly. The Cowboys one's not out the realm of possibility, because no, don't shake your head, Nick, 'cause I'm going to explain something to you. Belichick never, ever, ever shakes. He shakes hands with the coaches at the beginning of the game, at the end of the game. He always does that. He doesn't do it with owners, though, excluding one set of owners. Jerry Jones, the only owner of any franchise he actually shakes hands with before pre-game. And I know it is Jerry Jones. He's got his nose so far up his own arse. I thought he's got his nose so far up his own arse. It's unreal. But that's not out the realm of possibility. If they don't believe Mike McCarthy can get them over the hill.
I think they know Mike McCarthy can't get them over the hill. Yeah. I think Mike McCarthy is going to be out there anyway, regardless.
Well, apparently someone has basically turned around and said that all this about there are a lot of reports coming out right now that Belichick's going to either be traded or fired at the end of the season. saying that, and then there are quite a few fans that wanted to happen. He's responded with, and I can't even wrap my head around how ridiculously stupid that is. Well, it's not stupid at all, mate. You know, Belichick is 62 and 80 as a head coach without Tom Brady. Please do the math. He's not. Yes, he was great for a couple of the Super Bowls, mainly the first one and mainly the last one. And obviously the final, and obviously the one play that Malcolm Butler made is Super Bowl 49, which we all know and love. But the rest of the time was all Brady trying to lead that team down the field and coming back from adversity.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like to compare like one or the other, or who. I think they both needed each other at the end of the day. But I think what we need to establish here is, I don't doubt Coach Bill. What I doubt is GM Bill.
Yeah.
GM Bill.
Yeah, just DJ's audio is playing up, but I agree with what you're saying, DJ, in that, like, if you looked at that game on Sunday, you saw a team that's playing hard, but that just lacks talent. You see, like, there was nobody out there that wasn't playing hard. You look at Conor McDermott, he went down, got taken off the field. It looked like a leg injury. He came back on. You could see him then after every play. He was limping around the place, but he's still playing. And I don't think he was. I don't remember a massive amount of pressure coming from the left side. I think it was coming from the right side. So you don't. His ability to coach and the way that the defense is played, I don't think that's his coaching is in question. I think I agree, DJ, what you're saying. It's his ability to put a team together, and he's proven time and time again that he really can't. And he's gotten to the point now where the team is so bad he can't outcoach the talent. That his inability to build a team, he can't outcoach his inability to build a team. There we go. That's what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Nick. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, essentially Luke and DJ were saying the same thing, that we're now at this point where the Patriots need a major rebuild, and the problem is I don't have any faith in GM Bill at all. I don't believe he can do it. He's given me no indication to say that he has the skills and the ability to work the right selections. Carl, you said a few weeks ago, I remember reading it on Twitter, and apparently Bill doesn't look at GPS data or something. He doesn't look at GPS data.
Analytics.
But it's all like, oh well, I like him because he is a football man, or he works hard. That's not how you select. That's not how you scout and select anymore. And I just think the way the Patriots move forward is by saying to Bill Belichick, if you want to stay here, you give up the GM role, you come back to the status that you had when you joined, when you were coach and coach alone for the first, whatever it was, 3, 4, 5 years, and they go, so be it. I'm quite happy to see a major overhaul of the coaching staff anyway. I mean, really, you want to keep his kids after you just sacked their dad?
Yeah,
I don't think you get the best of it. You need to clear house and if you're going to bring in a head coach who's an offensive based coach, then that's fine. Give Gerard Mayo the DC job, and let him go from there. If you're gonna promote from within, then Gerard Mayo is literally the only one you keep. You give him the head coaching role, and you let him build his own staff. But it's the Patriots need an overhaul, top to bottom, left to right, and you can't do that while Bill Belichick's there. Simple.
Belichick's not going to relinquish that sort of power, though, and this is why I see a pie in other ways happening at the end of the season. Apparently, someone said it is idiotic and absolutely stupid. Okay, come on to our podcast then and explain why you think it's a stupid idea. Okay, look, we thank Bill for what he has done. Unfortunately, the game has passed him by now. It's no longer about it's no longer about run the ball, stop the run, and all this kind of crap. It's about quarterback play. It's about motion. It's about receivers. It's about speed. The whole NFL game now is all about speed and fast-paced action. And despite the fact that we still have a defense that can stop that sort of thing, we haven't got an offense to compete with anything else. Not even close. We're stuck in the 90s with this offense, and it doesn't work. It simply and utterly doesn't work now. Look, commiserations to the Colts. Gardner Minshew did some good things. He didn't exactly wow us with anything. I know it was a long third down he converted, but it was Jonathan Taylor that got the only touchdown of the game. That is, just shocking. Just an absolute shocking performance. We now sit at 2-8, and next Sunday we go into the ultimate tank bowl against the New York Giants, which I am still waiting on a phone call from a good friend of mine, and might be coming onto our show next week. I'll have to let you know sooner or later on Twitter.
The icing on the cake. The icing on the cake with that is, I mean, I know that Luke flew home earlier than us yesterday, but you got home a similar time to I did. DJ would have got home a bit later. You get home, you're settling in at home, you've just got back, and you find out that Jack Jones has been released. It's like, oh, really? Is this what we're getting? This is like great, brilliant. We're talking about a man who was a 4th-round pick in 2022. What are we wasting? We haven't got enough talent to waste picks. Bill Belichick was asked. He was asked, is this guy being released for performance, or is he being released because of misconduct? And all Bill Belichick said in his typical act, I just felt it was time to move on. Yeah, but why have you got rid of him? I felt it was time to move on. Well, has he been a naughty boy? I felt it was time to move on. Really? This is, you need the media right now to save your job if you're going to try. Don't keep doing this. You've been doing this for 20 years.
It's great doing this when you're winning, but when you're losing, you become the loneliest man in the room. I was shocked when Jack Jones got released, because I now also think JC Jackson is going to be let go at the end of the season as well, which basically means the only real shutdown corner that we've got is Christian Gonzalez when he comes back from injury. I mean, there is Marcus Jones as well, but
he's not much of a cornerback, really. Marcus Jones, he's not proven to be.
He's a kickoff returner. He's a punt kickoff returner.
He's a gadget.
A very good one. A very good one. But
is the one that got released the one that had the issues with the guns?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest,
that must have been the build up, and then obviously whatever misconduct he had, it's then.
I would not be surprised, and I think they should clear house of anybody that they know is not going to be on the team and is causing has attitude problems. Clearly JC Jackson, and I think there was rumors of missing curfew as well with JC Jackson and Jack Jones. So
I think it was JC Jackson was late for the curfew. I think Jack Jones didn't turn up at all.
Yeah. So
that might have been
I'm all for releasing guys like that. You can't have He's not
You
good enough.
watch Jack Jones now. He's on waivers now. You watch him get picked up by the Dallas Cowboys. He picks up and he gets a pick six off freaking. Who did the Cowboys play this coming week?
Yeah, but the point is that the Cowboys are a good enough team that they can afford to have a bad egg or two on it. When you're 2-8, you can't have players of bad attitude bringing the culture down, and complaining and going, not adhering to the rules. You can't have it. And I'm sure if it was a player higher up the roster, it might have been handled differently, but you have to treat each player individually, and sometimes you be who you can afford to be. Jack Jones has been poor this year with his play. Last year he was a good player at times, but he got beat a lot. He got a few interceptions, but he got beat a lot. So I don't think it's a big loss. I think he might get a few picks somewhere wherever he goes, but it's not big. I don't think it's a massive loss, and I'm happy that they've actually done something and moved him.
Sorry, going back to the Belichick scenario. If at the end of the season they do mutually part ways, yeah, what happens if he then decides to sign with another team in the off season? Is that team obligated to give us something because he is contracted, not on a mutual? Okay, if the only option is we trade, yeah.
Once they mutually part ways, his contract's terminated, and he'll be paid his contract for if he's on a contract to the end of 2024. He's still any guaranteed money he has in his contract, which I think all coaches' contracts are 100% guaranteed anyway, or close to. He'll get that money, but
see, I can't see Kraft trading.
No, unless Bill asks to go somewhere, they're aware of interest, and it would give the Patriots something. It works for Bill. It works for if it works for everybody, I could see him being traded, but I couldn't see him going. We're trading you to the Panthers, or something like that, or the Cardinals or something like that, some other bum franchise. Speaking as a bum franchise ourselves at the moment. So yeah, it would be somewhere he wants to go. I wouldn't rule out the Cowboys. I know it was mentioned earlier. I wouldn't rule that out too quickly.
Yeah, I don't see him there.
I don't see him anywhere else, really. But
well, he's got that Shula record still to get, so I think he.
Yeah, I've been the only team that's probably liable to probably get him. That's probably the Chargers. I think because yes, Brandon Staley is a head coach, but he's also a defensive coordinator. So it'll be the same with Belichick. But at least Belichick will know how to get that defense in order. Because let's be real, the pass rush of the Chargers is very good when it's on its game. And they've got a very good secondary in Derwin James as well.
Could there be a scenario that Bill goes and Josh comes back as head coach?
No chance.
No.
He's had two shots as head coach now, and he's fucked every part of my language. He's screwed up every single one of them.
I would not.
Broncos fans and us. Yeah, Broncos fans were screaming at said to Raiders fans, "We told you. We tried to warn you about this guy, but you didn't listen." There are men and women, because obviously the women that do coordinate on the women's side of the game. There are people that are designed for head coaches, and there are people that are designed for just being coordinators. Josh McDaniels is designed to just be an OC. He is not head coach material. He is not.
Agreed.
So, yeah. All right. Let's have a little chat about Frankfurt then, shall we, guys? Because obviously we'll have a bit of a light-hearted discussion before we get on out of it. Finally got to meet all one another. Obviously, DJ was very, very late. I didn't get to meet you till Saturday morning because this one here decided to have this one decided to go to bed at 8:30 because he was absolutely shunted. What's everyone? Lightweight. I wasn't even drinking either. It was just 2 hours sleep.
I'll take my pint with me and go to bed.
It was 2 hours sleep. I think I did actually.
You did take a pint.
I did. I woke up in the morning and I realised, oh shit, that glass of beer was still on the side. I could have just said start as you mean to go on, but I just thought, no, let me coffee first. Anyway, back on topic. What's everyone's thoughts that we finally now all met each other and that sort of thing? Everybody's already described it's been an amazing weekend for all you lot, and just I'm honoured to be hosting this and being around with three amazing group of guys, all different individuals, all different personalities. Not one of us are the same one, are the same kind, excluding the fact we're all Patriots fans. And it was just fantastic, just fantasy and an amazing time with all you gentlemen. Really, really have been.
I mean, I think for the first time we all met each other. I think we clicked, and we click, as a unit, as friends, I'd like to say. So I think there was no like awkwardness or anything like that. It was just like normal, but in person.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I think the two of you. You said it perfect. Yeah.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I met Carl for the first time when we did our week one launch night, didn't we? We went to Birmingham, but I've been looking forward to this weekend for months, pretty much since we decided to go and get sorted. So, it was really nice to go, and it took my mind away from other things, which was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So. I can't fault it. You're all good lads and whatever, and thoroughly enjoy. And I hope we keep doing this.
Yeah,
it's been fantastic, guys. Been absolutely brilliant. Back to normality now, but we have a free week, so we don't need to stress about our team. We can go into next week a little bit more refreshed, because we'll have the Ultimate Tank Bowl game against the Giants to preview, and we may have a special guest coming on. We'll let you know. We'll let you know on social media in due course. Cool. But that's it for our show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening in. Make sure you smash a like on the video. You hit the subscribe button when you're at it. Follow us on all our social media platforms and follow us on Spotify. We'll be back next Tuesday for a preview of the Giants game. We sit at 2-8 now. There's a good chance there's probably only 2 more games, maybe 3 we could possibly win. But I seriously would not hold my breath on this at all. That's been DJ. That's been Nuke. That's been Nick. My name's Carl. Peace out, people. We'll see you next week. Go Pats. Embrace the tank.